A lone canoe drifts into black water with only a foam line to follow. One wrong turn means death in the open ocean. They have no drawn maps, no compass, and no written guides. Yet ancient humans somehow crossed vast waters to populate every continent. The secret wasn't in what they carried, but what they remembered. To understand how humans crossed oceans without maps, you first have to see the invisible trails they followed across land. These weren't explorers with a plan. They were families running out of food, following rumors of better lands beyond the horizon, with nothing but their eyes and memories to guide them. Archaeological evidence shows humans reached Australia 65,000 years ago, requiring an ocean crossing of at least 50 miles of open water, with no visible destination, in simple rafts or canoes. The answer to how they managed this impossible feat would change not just their lives, but the entire future of human civilization. Yet the most astonishing crossings were still to come. These ancient navigators started with what they could see. The sun, moon, and stars became their first compass. During the day, the sun's position told them east from west. At night, the North Star in the northern hemisphere and the Southern Cross in the south provided fixed points in the sky. But stars alone weren't enough. When clouds covered the sky, ancient sailors watched the waves. Different wave patterns form where currents collide, creating invisible highways across the ocean that experienced sailors could read like a map. The first humans likely followed coastlines, creating mental maps of shoreline features visible from sea. Distinctive mountains, unique rock formations, and river mouths became signposts on their journeys. These coastal routes eventually took them around the world. In the Pacific, Polynesian navigators developed the most sophisticated non-instrument navigation system in human history. They could detect islands beyond the horizon by reading wave patterns, cloud formations, and even the reflection of green lagoons on the underside of clouds. But how did they know where they were going without a destination in sight? The answer lies in bird migration patterns. Ancient sailors noticed that certain birds flew out to sea each morning and returned each evening. Following them led to land. When European explorers first reached the Pacific, they were astonished to find that Polynesian navigators could identify more than 150 stars by name and knew exactly which stars to follow to reach specific islands across the thousands of miles of open ocean. The most ingenious navigation method involved something humans always carried with them: their own bodies. By memorizing rising and setting points of stars along known routes, navigators could store dozens of courses in their muscle memory. One ancient technique, lying in the canoe at night to align with stars, using their body as a living sextant to measure celestial angles. This created a human GPS system thousands of years before satellites. But the greatest challenge wasn't navigation, it was survival. Ancient ocean crossings required carrying people, plants, and animals. They needed to build seaworthy vessels large enough for entire ecosystems. The invention of the outrigger canoe was revolutionary. By adding a float to one side, they created stable vessels. These vessels carried heavy loads across rough waters. This transformed short coastal trips into transoceanic voyages. Impossible journeys became possible through accumulated knowledge. Each voyage added to navigational wisdom passed orally. Stories contained precise sailing directions for future travelers. The final piece, understanding ocean currents as blue highways. Ancient sailors noticed currents flowing like rivers through the ocean. By catching these currents, they traveled vast distances with minimal effort. Captain Cook observed Tahitian navigators in the 18th century. He was shocked to see them predict landfall hours before it was visible. They read subtle changes in wave patterns and bird behavior, patterns European sailors had never noticed before. The Kelp Highway theory shows remarkable ancient navigation evidence. Scientists believe humans followed kelp forests from Japan to California.